Learn English through stories. C14. Adopted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents. 1. The Crab and the Stork. 2. The Sick Lion. 3. Rita completes her homework. 4. Picture dictionary page. 1. The Crab and the Stork. In a green forest at the bottom of a mountain was a beautiful pond. This pond was home to many fishes, frogs, and crabs living together peacefully. What is a crab? A crab is a sea creature with 5 pairs of legs. What is a stork? A stork is a large bird with long legs, a long neck, and a long beak that walks in water to find its food. Among them lived an exceptionally smart stork that ruled both the air and the water. This stork had all that he wanted. He fed on the creatures of the pond and flew high up in the skies above. In keeping with the laws of nature, this was the perfect way of life. Every creature in this pond was well fed, and everyone lived in harmony. However, this delicate balance could not be maintained for long. As the years went by, age caught up to the magnificent stork, and this bird of the skies and the water wasn't as agile as he used to be. The feathers from the stork's wings began to fall out, his bones showed signs of aging. The pain and weakness made it difficult for this once strong stork to hunt and fill his belly. Meals soon became harder to come by. The creatures of the pond easily escaped his once powerful grip. His beak often failed to hold on to the quick crabs, frogs, and fishes that he did manage to catch. Many times the stork stayed hungry, and he got weaker by the day. Going hungry every day wasn't right for the stork. This helpless stork was facing almost certain death. Very soon he realized that he needed to come up with a clever plan to solve his problem. So the stork put his smart brain to work and came up with a badly evil idea. He pretended to be very sad and worried, and he gathered all the creatures of the pond together. He said, "Brothers and sisters of this beautiful pond, we are now facing great trouble. It is a matter of life and death." The other creatures were quite naturally scared by his words. They asked, "Our brother the stork, why are you so sad and scared? Let us know about your bad news. We will get together and solve this problem." The stork didn't waste any time and went straight to telling his lies. "My friends of this pond, we may soon lose our home. Humans have taken over this forest. They plan to direct the waters of this pond to a dam they are building in the city. If we do not find a new home, all of us will be dead soon. We must do something. Moving from here is a must for us." He needed to give some proof, so he said, "My sister from the pond nearby is now homeless. Her friends are all dead, and I'm afraid the same will happen to us. Being homeless is one thing, but being dead, oh no, God save us." The creatures of the pond were terrified. These were creatures that lived all their lives in this pond. They couldn't imagine living anywhere else, and without water, none of them could live. The small and simple creatures of the pond trusted every word the large stork spoke. They all agreed that the stork was the cleverest among them, so they begged the stork to save their lives. The stork pretended to think long and hard, and then the stork said, "My brothers and sisters, we have to find another pond to call our home, and I know just the right one. I have been there too many a time. It is just a perfect place for us. It is just like heaven has come to the earth. I will personally take each one of you to our new home, one of you at a time, in my beak. As you know, I am getting old and weak. I cannot carry more than one of you at a time. My last wish will be for you all to live safe and well." The stork continued, "One more thing, I don't want you to believe what I am saying. I would like to prove it. Please, just for the proof, I take one of you and bring back here, then you can hear from them their own experience." So he took one of them in his beak, and showed her a beautiful lake which was like a dream comes true. The creature he took was a small fish. Her name was Santi. Even though she was small, she loved eating a lot of food. So the stork treated her really well. They sat near the lake and had a delicious lunch. Santi could not believe her new home, a lake full of water, so many lovely plants, no noise, very peaceful and quiet. They went back. Santi could not stop talking. She kept praising the lake and could not wait to leave to go there. She told everything to the other creatures. The other creatures were quite happy with this story. They all agreed to accept the help offered by the stork. For these poor creatures, this was the only way to stay alive. For the stork, this was his wicked way to fill his hungry belly. The stork was very happy, but he hid his feelings from the other creatures of the pond. He even shed a lot of tears when he spoke. The stork's evil plan was working. He was now sure that he would get his food every day without much trouble. The next day, the stork got to work on his wicked idea. The creatures of the pond happily climbed into his beak. The stork then flew off with them a few miles away, dropped them from a great height, and ate the dead fishes, frogs, and crabs without much trouble. Every day in this way, he killed and ate many frogs, crabs, and fish. Soon the stork became very greedy. The stork was eating more than he needed to, and the pond soon became an empty and lonely place. The stork was eating more and more, getting fatter every day. Soon all creatures of the pond were gone, and only one crab was left. Now that it was the last crab's turn, this little crab was excited about going to a new and safe home. He had been waiting to join his crab friends and family for many days. He happily climbed into the stork's beak, and soon the stork was flying high up in the air. After a while, the crab wanted to know where he was going. The crab peeked out of the stork's beak. What he saw shocked him. The stork was flying over dry land, and there was not a pond in sight. The crab was afraid and cried out, "Brother stork, where are you taking me? There is not a single pond in sight." The stork let out an evil laugh and said, "Why would I take you to another pond? You are my meal for today." Though the crab was afraid, he was a quick-thinking crab. He was known for his presence of mind. The crab shouted out, "But I was the last crab in the pond. Where do you think you will get your next meal? You are now too old and weak to hunt." The stork got worried. The crab grabbed this chance and said, "I know of another much smaller and shallow pond where my brother lives. Hunting for your food will be far easier. If I show you the pond, can you spare my life?" The greedy stork loved the crab's plan. The stork was old and lazy, and he didn't want to hunt anymore. So, the idea of fish, frogs, and crabs to eat, without any trouble, made him very happy. He followed the crab's directions. After much flying and no pond in sight, the stork was very tired and cried out, "Where is this pond you are talking about?" The crab pointed out to a cave in the mountains and said, "There, that is the secret entrance to the pond." The tired yet happy stork flew right into the cave. The greedy stork excitedly entered deep into the cave without fear. Inside the cave, all the stork could see were two scary red eyes coming towards him. The crab screamed from inside the stork's mouth, "O great king, I have brought you this wicked and cruel stork. He has killed all our crab brothers." The stork was now facing a giant crab, the king of all crabs. This crab was so much bigger than the tiny crab caught in its beak. This crab was as big as the stork. The stork was too tired to run away. He was begging for his life. He knew that the strong king crab could quickly kill him. He was on his knees, crying, "Most merciful king, spare my life, and I will change my ways," the stork said. The crab king replied, "You cannot change your ways. You are a hunter while the frogs, fish, and crabs are your food." The stork was very scared. He was sure that the dangerous king crab would soon kill him. The crab king continued, "While you cannot stop your hunger, you can stop your greed. You should not have killed so many frogs, fish, and crabs and emptied the pond." At that moment, the stork knew he was wrong to be so greedy. He begged for his life. He let the crab go from within his beak and promised to be a better stork. Though big and powerful, the crab king was kind and forgiving. He spared the stork's life and took the tiny crab to safety. In the end, nature corrected the mistakes of the stork. The stork was sorry for his actions. He promised never to be greedy anymore and kept that promise. Moral: work honestly to meet your needs. Do not give in to greed. 2. The sick lion. A lion lived in a cave near a forest by himself. One day he celebrated his birthday by himself. He ate and drank plenty. After drinking some country-made rum, he became a little drunk. He could not resist dancing. While he was dancing, he fell down and broke his front leg. As a result, he could not hunt for himself anymore. He was hungry. He knew he would die sooner or later of hunger. He thought of a plan. He sent word across the forest about his poor condition. Dear, beloved animals of the forest, I am on my last legs. I am tired and near death. As you know, I am not very old. But when death comes, it does ask for age. And also, as they say, those whom God loves die young. I am inviting you to catch a glimpse of your own king. Due to my poor health, I cannot see more than one animal at a time. Please come one by one. My eyes are longing to see you before I depart from this world. Yours truly, Poor Humble King the Lion. All the animals felt sorry for him and started visiting him. You may have guessed it was a trap. The first animal to visit was an innocent sow, female pig. A sow. As she entered the cave, the lion caught her and killed her. The meat of the sow was plenty for many days. So the lion put a notice board outside his cave. I am tired and having a rest. Please do not disturb me before the full moon. After the full moon, the animals came to the cave one by one. The lion killed them and enjoyed his meal every day. One day, the vixen, female fox, came to visit the lion. The vixen was a clever animal. The vixen entered the cave and stood at a safe distance. The said lion said, "Dear vixen, how are you? I was wondering where you have gone. Please come closer, I want to bless you with my paws." The vixen replied, "Sorry sir, I am happy to receive my blessing from a distance. I see footprints of other animals coming into the cave, but there is not a single trail of them leaving your cave. I have just come to say my farewell to you. I hope you will die slowly and steadily. Not a single animal will visit you anymore. I doubt if anyone would even attend your funeral. Goodbye, so-called our humble king." 3. Rita completes her homework. Answers are on the next page. Answers. 1. Please don't make so much noise. I am trying to work. 2. Let's go now. It is not raining anymore. 3. You can turn off the radio. I am not listening to it. 4. Kate phoned last night. She's on holiday with friends. She is having a great time and doesn't want to come back. 5. Andrew started evening classes recently. He is learning Japanese. 6. Paul and Sarah have had an argument and now they are not speaking to one another. 7. The situation is already very bad and now it is getting worse. 8. Tim is not working today. He's taken the day off. 9. I am looking for Sophie. Do you know where she is? 10. The washing machine has been repaired. It is working now. 11. They are building a new hospital. It will be finished next year. 12. Ben is a student, but he's not very happy. He is not enjoying his course. 13. The weather is changing. Look at those clouds. I think it's going to rain. 14. Dan has been in the same job for a long time. He is starting to get bored with it. 4. Picture dictionary page.